These people are practicing the occult.
Billionaire Jeffrey Epstein is expected to appear in federal court in Lower Manhattan tomorrow,
Using trauma-based mind control to release spirit energy.
How serious are these charges against Epstein?
Is Epstein going to cooperate? Because back in the day when he signed the non-prosecution agreement, it also protected co-conspirators.
The emails say these girls had psychic powers.
Agents hauled out multiple bags of evidence from disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Who knows what type of people may be involved in this conspiracy?
And he also had a lot of girls there all the time.
Great point. This guy's a billionaire with a lot of wealthy and high-profile friends. Should those people be worried about Epstein taking them down with him, Alex?
Jeffrey Epstein went from teacher to Wall Street to uber wealthy.
There's a secret religion being played out right before your eyes, and they're all in on it. And let me tell you that this goes deeper than you can ever imagine. This is some nasty, wicked stuff. And we'll tell you what we can and show you the connections to the mystery religion of today. There is a spiritual wickedness in high places. Well, hello, friend. This is your friend Spencer here. We're going to start a new series today called Spiritual Wickedness in High Places. And this is going to be tied to the Epstein files being dropped and so much information being now revealed to the public about the personal life and the associations and the actual practices that the people who were involved with Epstein were doing. And we're going to tie this to the Third Adam series because there is just so much wild information there that ties exactly to what we're talking about with the occult and witchcraft and things like that. And so we want to make this series available to you. I'm not sure how many episodes we'll do, but we'll do as many as are needed as this topic just seems to just be everywhere. But we're going to talk about this, and it's going to be very important. I want to start this series with a verse that everybody needs to know and be familiar with. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter number 6 and verse 12. The Bible says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And I want everybody to know that there is spiritual wickedness in high places. And we're going to name this series that. I want to start off this series by asking the question, who is Jeffrey Epstein? And for those of you who don't know the details of what he was and what he was doing, and I'm going to read this document to you. Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier who was born in 1953 in Brooklyn. He worked in finance and built connections with wealthy and influential families in business, politics, academia, and entertainment. He was not widely known to the general public until criminal investigations revealed that he had been involved with the exploitation of underage girls. His wealth and social connections allowed him to move in elite circles for decades before his criminal conduct became publicly exposed. In 2005, in Palm Beach, Florida, they began investigating allegations that Epstein had messed with 14-year-old girls at his home, and the investigation uncovered evidence that numerous underage girls had been recruited to go to his house and deal with him. Some of these girls were paid money, and they were encouraged to recruit others. And in 2008, Epstein entered into a plea deal with federal prosecutors. He pleaded guilty in Florida to court in a Florida state court to charges of solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of dealing with minors. As a part of that, he served 13 months in a county jail facility. He was allowed work release privileges during much of his sentence, and he had to register as an offender. The plea deal was later criticized because it granted immunity to Epstein and certain potential associates from federal prosecution at that time. So basically, his problems publicly started about 2005. But later in 2019, federal prosecutors in New York charged Epstein with trafficking and conspiracy to traffic in that state. The indictment alleges that from 2002 to 2005, he recruited and dealt with dozens of underage people at his residence in New York and Florida. The charges included allegations that he paid them, and so he actually facilitated a network in his own home. So very heinous stuff. And if convicted on those federal charges, he faced decades in prison. And so this is when his legal troubles basically caught up with him. In 2019, he was put into a prison cell, and he was found unresponsive at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City, and the official ruling by the New York City Medical Examiner determined his death to be self-caused. He deleted himself. His death occurred before the federal case went to trial, and during that trial, I'm sure there would have been discovery and all these names would have been released. As a result, the criminal charges against him were dismissed after his death. And so basically, what he was charged with and what he was known for was trafficking in minors, and he actually used this type of stuff through coercion, financial indictment or manipulation, to indict and to put famous people, especially senators and government officials, people in entertainment, in compromising positions, and use it to blackmail them for information. And after his death, civil lawsuits were filed by multiple victims. Investigations also continued into individuals associated with him. And his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, was later convicted in federal court in 2021 of charges related to trafficking and conspiracy. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And the Epstein case raised serious questions about how wealth, power, and influence may affect the justice system, particularly in cases involving exploitation. And so that's basically the nutshell of who Jeffrey Epstein was. Now, the thing about him is that he actually, like I said, he used these minors to actually bring people in contact with famous people at parties and things like that. And what he would do is he would have the minors interact with these famous movie stars and politicians and famous CEOs and Hollywood producers and all types of stuff like that. And what he would do is he would have photographic or video evidence of these people being involved with minors, and he would use that to blackmail people. Now, that sounds bad enough as it is, but the truth is that it goes much deeper than that. Jeffrey Epstein was involved in a mystery cult, in a mystery religion. And the people who actually were involved with him were some satanic, evil people who were involved in things like globalism and world domination and the such like. And in this series, we will examine these ideas and we will tie them back to the Bible. You see, things like Jeffrey Epstein are not new, not even close to being new. This is all an ancient practice that has been done before you and I ever showed up. These people are satanic. These people are evil. These people are basically, as the Bible says, and I love how the Bible sums it up so beautifully, these people are practicing spiritual wickedness in high places. In this series, we will go through and explain to you some of the ancient practices of Baal worship, Ashtoreth worship, the groves, the high places. We will show you some of the emails that have been put out there are unbelievable. There are people out there, matter of fact, I will say this, there are emails that show that Epstein was involved in trying to raise the consciousness of young ladies so that they could develop psychic powers and things like that. It's all in there, folks, and you don't want to miss this ride. So subscribe to this channel if you are new, and make sure that you hit the like button and share this video with a friend. We're going to get into all this stuff, and it's going to be absolutely, completely, and totally insane. Don't miss our series on spiritual wickedness in high places. God bless you, friend, and we will talk to you very soon.